she said, when you really care about something and you're so passionate about it and your heart is screaming that this is meant for you, it doesn't make sense that you'd be calm. So you guys,
right.
Let it go. Let it out.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Be It Till You See It interview recap, where my co-hosts in life are going to dig into the aspirational combo and manifesting combo and just badass, amazing combo I have with Nikole Mitchell in our last episode. If you haven't yet listened to that one now, well, you can go back and listen now. That's a good way to finish that
Now
sentence.
you can.
Now you can. It's out. It's been out. Or you can listen to this and then go listen to that. You're going to want to listen to that one and you're going to want to save it, but you're already here. So let's keep talking and then you can go listen to that one. It's also her second time being on the podcast. And we recorded this one kind of right after the first one. Before the first one hadn't come out yet when we recorded this one. But well, if you listen to the first one, you know that I kind of went over time. And so I had to already have her back. And I wanted to make sure we had something for you in the new year that was about manifesting. So anyways, before we get into that, today is, I really should read these before. I should read these notes before they happen. So today is January 25th, 2024. It's also the day before my birthday. Woo! Yes, you can tell me happy birthday. But apparently it's Clashing Clothes Day.
Clothes.
Yeah, I said that.
Clashing clothes.
Clashing Clothes Day. You know, I have been to speech therapy classes. You cannot put these words together. I cannot do two C's and an S. On this day, people are encouraged to dress in clashing clothes items from head to toe. Anything in a neutral color like white, black, or gray is a no-go today.
It's a no-go.
So if you're wearing them now, well, you fucked it up.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Guess what? You know what you say to people? I'm taking messy action. That's what you say. You're being it till you see it.
That's right.
Okay. So, but according to whoever made this day up, navy and brown also match with most colors and therefore aren't welcome on Clashing Clothes Day. So today is merely a day to have fun with your outfit and show up in the brightest, silliest of hues without the fashion police raining on your parade. Mix colors, prints, and textures, and you'll be clash-tastic in no time. Hold on, I want to go like this. Clash-tastic. I need a snap bracelet. Oh my God. Okay, so as someone who doesn't really match ever, I think it's hilarious.
May or may not be why I picked this one.
This is funny.
Yeah.
I like it a lot, and I think Mindy will like this a lot too.
Yes,
I really am in. Just so you all know, here's how I operate. If it doesn't match, it goes. In fact, especially if two colors don't match and you do it twice, then it totally goes. Anyways, apparently also on my birthday, it's tomorrow. It's January 26th, is the last day for the Cambodia early bird.
That's right, y'all.
I just found out too.
What?
But if you were getting the emails because you were on the wait list, you knew this already.
That's right.
So if you're waiting to the last minute because you're a procrastinator, here's your pressure.
Save 20%. Save $600.
Oh my God, $600?
$600.
That's a lot of money.
I know.
Okay.
People should be on the wait list.
I should read these notes.
Go to lesleylogan.co/retreats in order to get on that wait list, or you just go to retreat singular and you'll actually go to the page where you can sign up.
Elevate 4 starts in any day now.
Like a week and a half.
Yeah. And I'm so excited. It's such a special group. If you are someone who has waited the last minute to sign up for a mentorship program for 2024 and there is spots, I would love to talk to you. And if there's not, you'll get one of the 2025 spots that are already running out because people have been signing up for 2025 and I haven't even picked dates yet, but that's how bad they want in. So you can go to lesleylogan.co/elevate if you can apply now. Then that means like if you'll just apply now and then you can, we'll help you.
We'll get on the phone with you. It'll be good.
We get on the phone. I like to get on the phone. It's with a face. I like that. It's more fun. So lesleylogan.co/elevate. And then you guys, we are so close to Mini. So technically we're actually in
Mini is profitable Pilates, y'all.
Yeah. So technically we are in Nashville right now celebrating.
It's true.
Or with our coaches, and then we're going to celebrate my birthday. Thanks, Vincent, our app builder, for helping me do that. Friends and I have places, y'all. So Mini is our 7-day coaching program for fitness business instructors and studio owners, especially my Pilates lovers. Hello. We've been where you want to be. We've been where you are. We can help you get there. So we usually do 2, and we're not saying we're not doing 2 this year, but we're not saying we are.
That's right.
So this is agency Mini number 10, which means we've done this 9 other times. We're pretty freaking good at it.
We are pretty freaking good at it.
So good at helping you dial it down and really see possibility in the goals you want to have. So you want to go to profitablepilates.com/mini. If I say it twice, I'm going to screw it up.
profitablepilates.com/mini.
And finally, the barrels deck.
Yeah, it's coming up.
We had several questions that we could have chosen this week. And one of them was about like the decks. And someone's like, when is the barrels deck coming out? And I was like, I am working on it. Thank you. 1 deck a year, people. I have other things I have to do. I have always wanted to do 2 decks in a year, and we have tried.
It's not happened yet.
It's not happened yet. It's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's okay. It's going to be okay.
Oh, but you don't tell me that. You can tell them that.
The dates for the barrels deck, we don't actually know exactly the dates yet, but we're going to be doing a pre-sale. So if you want to get on the pre-sale to get the best rate that we will ever offer for this deck,
it's 30% off.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Just chat to us. Go to...
no, we actually have a link for this.
Oh, we do?
Yes. onlinepilatesclasses.com/flashcards.
No, that goes to the mat deck. It's it's a perfect link.
Oh, no. There's an actual link.
Flashcards waitlist. It's opc.me/flashcard waitlist.
Okay. It's in Slack.
Me/flashcard.
Kevin, check out a conversation with, hi, Kevin. You guys, Kevin has been editing this podcast.
That's what it was. opc.me/flashcard waitlist.
Yes.
And that'll take you straight to where you can get on the waitlist for both decks that are going to come out. We got the barrels and the accessories.
Yes.
But basically, that's going to happen sometime here in the next couple of months. We'll do a pre-sale, and then we'll be shipping them this summer.
So when this episode comes out, I should have already procured the special piece of apparatus that I've been waiting for in the most amazing color. And that is what we've been waiting for to schedule the photo shoot for this deck. And I know that was more information than you wanted to know, but you need to know that
She's very excited, y'all.
I'm so excited. And that's what has delayed the even start of this, is I was really you have no idea how many people. I went to the
copy is finished.
Yeah, the copy is finished.
The photos are not done yet.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The head of Balanced Body, I have been talking to him about this freaking piece of equipment for 2 years now. For 2 years, before the Cadillac deck was and the chairs deck, I've been talking to him. I'm like, how's this barrels thing going? What's going on with this? I was like helping find old barrels for him out of selfishness for me and this deck. Anyways, I'm very excited because I thought it was going to be later in the year, and it's in this month. So it's coming out. Once photo shoot's done, then we just have to make sure the right photos are on the right cards. And then it's pre-sale time. And then we all get to sit and wait for the print.
Yeah.
Welcome to, this is how products are made, guys.
It is. But you know what? You get to participate. By doing the pre-sale, you're actually helping us get it to the point of print. So
yeah,
that's the best thing. If this is something that's of interest to you, not only will you get the best rate, but you'll also be helping make these things happen.
Yeah. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into Nikole's epic, amazing interview, we have an audience question, don't we, Brad?
We do. This one was from Alejandro Jarvis. I don't know how to say it. Jarvis on Instagram.
I think if you say Alejandro Jarvis, makes sense. If you say Alejandro Jarvis, then it depends. We don't know.
I think it's Alejandro. I'll go with Jarvis.
Oh, but you have to sing it like Lady Gaga says it. Alejandro. It's an old Lady Gaga song. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, Brad doesn't.
As a trainer, do you make more money if you have more experience?
So this is a great question.
It is such a good question, especially if you're just getting started in the world of teaching.
So technically, the answer should be yes. And I would like to say that's how it would be. But then there was this time where a bunch of experienced professionals stopped raising their rates or never raised them. And therefore, people who are newer didn't actually have space to make a living. So here's the deal.
I mean, that's not like, we can't just blame it on people like that. No, the reality is
Thank you. I wasn't blaming them, but I will say when I became a Pilates instructor in 2008 and someone told me to charge less than someone else, and I asked that person, well, who are you charging less than? And she said, this person. So I said to that person, who are you charging less than? And I swear to God, because I was in retail and I also knew nothing about the industry and I was just like, I wanted to make a living. And I lived in Los Angeles. I found out who everyone was like putting their price rates against. And I was like, well, how long has she been charging that? And they're like, oh, forever. And I'm like, so we're all just waiting. We're all just waiting. So I can't raise my rates till you raise your rates. And this is I work for myself.
Right.
I don't even work. So here's the deal. If you work for a company.
Right. If you're in corporate fitness, then probably I think it'd be fair to say you're going to make more money if you have more experience.
Yes.
And also you bring in more clients, convert clients. They're going to offer those things to you, et cetera.
Yes.
But generally speaking, if you have more certifications and you have more tenure, you're going to get paid more.
Well, if you work for yourself.
Well, that's different. I'm talking about in corporate.
Yes. In corporate. Yes.
But.
Yes. And also I say that for all the studio owners listening, you're going to hate me, but like being an employee of yours for 10 years doesn't mean that they just like you should give like cost of living raises, but like to me,
just because it's another year gone by doesn't mean that they are owed a raise.
No, people should be doing continuing education. There's like other ways to show that they are worthy of other things, but cost of living increases. Yes, you must do those. Those aren't raises, by the way. That's called life.
Yeah.
It should be the norm. But if you work for yourself, this is where it gets different. And this goes back to my frustrating situation that I was in, because I would have happily charged less than all these other teachers if I knew that every year they were raising rates and I could then raise my rates. That's not how they were doing their business, though. They also weren't business people. I just happened to come from a world where like when the cost of gold went up, the prices of all the items of gold went up.
Right.
So like I came from the experience that cost of expenses goes into how you price things. And because of that, I actually charged the same amount as people who've been teaching several years more than me because that's what I needed.
Yeah. I mean, higher level here. If you work for yourself, you get to set your own rates. It doesn't fucking matter if you've been teaching a really long time or a short time. You choose what you're worth. You choose what you're going to get paid. You obviously have to deliver the goods.
Yes. Hold on. Very specific. Let's underline that. And this is also the TLDR. You set your own rates, but you have to deliver the goods.
Yeah.
You have to. And that comes from the best advice I was ever given in my entire life of teaching Pilates. This is the best one. I've been teaching Pilates as an employee for like a week. And this guy said to me, you get one client and you make that client your priority. They never miss, ever. And they'll be a walking billboard for you. Mm. And he didn't mean by looks, guys, which I know from an LA person that could be perceived. He meant because they will talk nonstop about how they feel.
Yeah,
and he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. So you have to deliver the goods so you can actually continue to charge the rates you want to charge.
Yeah, deliver the goods. But so that kind of makes me think about, how do you know how much you should charge?
Yes.
And that was a question that you and I had to figure out. Mm-hmm. And in order to understand that, we built a tool for us. When we built that tool, I put "built" in air quotes because it was a napkin in a coffee shop. And I pulled out a pen, and we were
that
like,
coffee shop, guys. They had the most amazing matcha, and then you could get it with this chocolate drop in it. It tastes like an Andes mint. I'm just saying. Okay, go ahead.
Right. So
Andes mint.
Okay. So the point is we worked out a formula for how do we make an attainable goal that would also allow us to make the money that you wanted to make with your teaching. And then we eventually turned that into a full-blown free tool on profitablepilates.com called the Magic Number Calculator, right? And so for those of you who are asking this question, wondering about this question, you should probably actually just join us right in Agency Mini, which is happening in just a few weeks here in the middle of February 11th. And you can do that tool right now. It's totally free. And then come join us for Mini because we're going to be diving deep into that tool. Really, really digging in. So go to profitablepilates.com/mini.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
I would love it if for whether you worked for yourself or you worked for other people, if the more experience you had, the more money made. I would love that. I would love that to be the case. In fact, it would make everyone's lives easier. But unfortunately, a lot of people set rates on emotions and not facts and not expenses and not real tangible things. And so because of that, there is a varying range of what people charge for things, for their services. And so may I just say that Brad is really epically amazing at something where he helps you realize, for those who have a hard time charging your worth, he's really, really good at helping you realize you're a fucking expert. Because even when you're a new teacher, you have hundreds of hours under your belt, sometimes thousands, depending on how long you were practicing what you were doing before you taught it. And then for some of you who've been teaching for only a few years, you're at thousands of hours. And then for some of you who've been teaching for decades, you have, I can't even count that high.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands of hours.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to get someone in your head, in your corner, in your little ear to remind you you're a fucking badass. And too often people are undercharging in general.
Yeah.
And I believe in accessibility for all things that are out there, but I also believe in getting paid for your talents, period. I'm good. Thank you, Alejandro. That's a great question. I'll see you in Mini.
If you have questions, we love to hear them. These are all questions. Every question that you hear on this pod was asked of us. So just send them to us, send a DM to the pod or send it to Lesley. And we'll go through them and bring it up in another episode. Thanks.
We will.
All right, stick around. Okay, now let's talk about Nikole Mitchell. Once a pastor, Nikole boldly reinvented her future self. Overcoming financial hardships, she has successfully transitioned from food stamps to a 7-figure earner, the extraordinary result of persistent action and manifesting your dreams. This is a very tame bio.
I know. She's anything but tame.
Yeah, she's anything but tame.
Nikole, if you're listening, I know she loves that we said she's anything but tame.
Yeah, she's known as the pastor turned stripper, y'all. So,
Val, I love this. I love this bio. It doesn't include any of those things, but she is. I love her so much. I love Nikole so much. I often love to see her post because I think what she's really talented at is taking these beautiful posts that just show off. First of all, she's so sexy. She's so beautiful. She's the kindest fucking person you'll ever meet. Ever. And she has these beautiful pictures. And then she's like, here's how you manifest, everyone. So what I love is I think so many people might judge the picture and not read the caption. I read her captions. I learned so much about manifesting, money, lots of other things. So go follow her and then, but listen to this podcast first. So something I really loved, the whole episode, but I actually really love that she talked about having a holy tantrum. I'll get to the other part that I love, but this one made me really just laugh out loud because she says when we have a holy tantrum or we have this these divine fits, she called them, it's because we're getting out of our system and we're so committed to this thing that we get so frustrated that we have this little tantrum moment, this fit that it didn't work out. And she said a lot of people quit then. They quit right before the thing It's so close and it's like kind of on the other side. And so she said a lot of grit and tenacity is required for manifestation to happen. And that's not what people talk about. They're like, the secret, you just put it out in the universe and it just comes. A lot of cults were born out of that belief, y'all. But she said, you do need to have a vision and you should believe the woo stuff is real, but you have to back it up with substantiated actions. And those ongoing actions are going to help the thing come true.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, I was laughing when she talked about that too, because she said the universe can handle it, y'all. The tantrums.
I know. It can. Isn't that funny? What do we like?
She said she screamed and punches pillows and stuff sometimes.
Actually, they say it's really important to do those things. And when I teach breath work, first of all, everyone's muted. And I usually tell people, like, if you can't scream in the space that you're in, go get a pillow so you can scream into it. Because if you have the urge to scream, you should scream.
Yeah.
It's so important that we like feel our feelings, everyone, like as best you can. So anyways, I really, really loved it. She said, when you really care about something and you're so passionate about it and your heart is screaming that this is meant for you, it doesn't make sense that you'd be calm. So you guys,
right.
Let it go. Let it out.
Yeah, because if you're so passionate about the thing and then the thing's not going the way that you want it to go, you're allowed to get upset.
Yeah.
Well,
this was really helpful because like we were going through some really not fun stuff earlier in 2023 trying to secure our house. And I found myself like vacillating between like trying to calm myself down about being so frustrated when things weren't going right and being like, no, I can be fucking pissed off. This is the thing that I want. The universe didn't just give this to me to take the fuck away. So what the fuck is going on? So it was this really interesting thing. And when she said this, I was like, oh, I was doing the right thing. The universe can handle it. And I'm allowed to have a divine fit. I'm going to start calling them that now. I'm going to have divine fits. I'm going to tell the team.
All right, well, you can have a divine fit in your office.
Well, you know what? You're holy, what did she call them?
Holy tantrum?
Holy tantrums. Just shut your door because sometimes I hear them and I don't really want to. You're taking out on your mouse and it's not nice.
So one thing I really loved was she said she manifests better if she doesn't know the logistics around things, right? Which I think is so.
This makes so much sense to me.
Well, it's so interesting. I literally was on a coaching call today, and I told someone, you're stuck on the how. You need to first think through the what and the why, and then the how will present itself.
Yeah,
and
also the how can change.
The how can change.
You can get the how wrong, y'all, and you can find a new how.
Yeah.
Like Whoville and Whoville. It's like a
well, there's a very amorphous thing to say, but it's right on the money. In the tech world, they call it pivoting, right? Like
hard fork.
We went down this road and then we pivoted to another road. Yeah, because you were doing thing A and you switched to thing B.
Everyone was just pivoting all the time. That the meme with Ross going, pivot. Pivot.
Well, she said so she said the more she tries to figure out the how, the more she goes crazy, right? Mm-hmm. And what she's come to understand is that when she's focused on the what and the why, or the thing that she the goal, then it allows her to stay in that positive space, right? And then as she's eventually figuring out the how after the fact, right?
Well, this makes me think, so here's where the how is a problem, you guys. This how is actually really easy for you to procrastinate on because you're like, I got to get the how. So I'm just going to sit here and put it off till tomorrow and not do it. And so procrastination is not a character flaw. I actually did a bunch of studying on this, so I'm now an expert. I just taught a webinar for agency members and I really thought, I'm going to come with all these like time management tools and all these different ways to get the shit done. Wrong. Procrastination is because you are lacking dopamine in your brain. And so then you feel all the different reasons why you're not good enough why you sometimes you're depressed and sometimes things are overwhelming and that's why you don't do something. You procrastinate on it. You've told yourself a story that I do really, really well when I wait till the last minute. The how is all of those things. And what you really need is to focus on the why and the what.
Yeah.
Because the more you're in that, the more, and she said it, it's all bold here. I'm elevating, literally, I elevate energetically. That shit is called dopamine. Dopamine is what helps you do the how.
Yeah.
So,
and figure out the how. I mean,
yes.
she said it's less about me trying to chase it down and force it to happen.
Yeah.
It's more like I surrender to this desire and then I let the universe surprise me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I would ever say anything that woo-woo, but
Nikole, you got him to do a double woo.
That's a double woo, y'all.
He's double wooing. But this is the first double woo we've had.
If you translate that to Brad language, it's less about me trying to chase it down and force it to happen. It's more like I surrender to this desire. I let the universe surprise me. She's saying that when you focus on the why and the what, then the how will.
Well, yes.
The how will figure itself out.
Also, if you focus on the why and the what, you're actually looking for evidence for the why and the what to be possible. And therefore you pick up on things in conversations you might not necessarily do. And we have been working on the how for OPC for 6 years. I'm going to tell you guys, we have tried every single strategy from every expert out there. I mean, all of them. We've tried them all. We've even done the dumb ads thing. I'm going to tell you right now, we've done it all. This last year, 2023, we actually did nothing. we had a couple events.
We shut down the big
no more challenges, no more launches. We are like, okay, we're gonna do these couple little workshops. We're gonna charge minimal amounts of money, and you're not even gonna be able to join for a year. You can join for 40 days for $40. You guys have the same fucking number of members doing that than all the other things. And you want to know what? I don't even know that's the how.
But it was also a lot more fun.
It was way more fun.
Yeah,
it was so much more fun. And you want to know what?
A lot easier.
It's a lot easier. And so I fully believe that OPC is going to have 50,000 members and touch 50,000 lives. But I am no longer focusing on how that's going to happen. I'm just going to focus on why we're doing that and what we do. What we do is community, accountability, consistency. We have done a really good job. Like we were like going to do like maybe a summer camp and like 2 events. That's how, guys. I don't know. At this point in my life, I'm thinking we're doing summer camp. Like I'm not attached to the how because the how actually doesn't matter. The more myself and the team are clear on what the why is and what we're doing, the how will come. And it's not lazy. It's going back to, what was her name? Joanna Vargas's friend. Anyways, can't think of her name right now. She's got a great name. It's amazing. She's got a pimp daddy house. I remember her pimp daddy house.
Godlike goals.
Godlike goals.
Yeah.
And you guys, her godlike goals were bigger than her. And but she did what Nikole said. She backed up those godlike goals with actions. So she wanted to have a pimp daddy mansion, which means she's like, well, if I had pimp daddy money, then I would know how to balance my checkbook. I'm going to take a class on balancing my checkbook. That was her action step. So focus on the what and the why, and then take the first action that makes sense, not the how. The first action that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I was
What's her name? It's
here it is.
Is it with an H? Is it an M? What's her name? I can picture her. She had great
Hazel Ortega.
Wow, I said H.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so good. Leave that in. I'm so good. Hazel Ortega.
Episode 45.
Hazel Ortega.
Yeah.
So good. Pimp Daddy Mansion, y'all. She really did godlike goals. So, but I feel like Nikole's episode really helped explain, validated Hazel's ideas, because it really is. You got to know what you want and why you want it. You have to, you guys. You have to. And also, you can do a how that works. We did a how that worked in May of 2020. It's fucking slayed. And we have changed that how since then because it needed to be changed. And so we get so attached on this how thing. How am I going to do it? How does Santa get down the fucking chimney? He doesn't. Your parents put the shit under the tree. Don't get stuck on the how. Let magic happen.
All right. So finally, let's talk about those be it action items. What bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted action items can we take away from your convo with Nikole Mitchell? She said, take action aligned with who you're becoming.
Be it till you see it.
That's right. Take action aligned with who you're becoming. Be it till you see it. She also talked a lot about integrity, and she shared her example about the flight. She was like, I want to fly first class, did it one time, then balked the second time around, ended up basically calling them back and upgrading. And she said, I wasn't even sure how I was going to pay for it, but I knew that I was out of integrity with myself. And I thought, how often am I doing stuff like this integrity alignment thing is very interesting to me because it's the opposite of how I was raised.
I know.
Basically.
Did you love the Hyatt in South Korea that we stayed in? Was that in integrity with you?
I really did like that.
Yeah,
that
you're
nice.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed in a really fancy hotel.
We missed our
flight.
flight.
It was lovely.
And we had to stay in a really fancy hotel. Oh my God. And then I'll say the trip that I did with my mom, it was the most amazing thing. Why? Because I picked a hotel with an integrity towards how I want to do vacations with my mom and my sister. And yes, I use points on all those things, guys. But I use the things. Oh, I'll go to my B action in a second. You go ahead,
so, but she was talking about integrity and the thing, and how are we doing, like, what we're doing. Now we are talking about the how.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you're doing, are they in alignment with who you want to be?
Yeah. There's this girl. I need to find her name. Claire knows her. Claire Saul, if you're listening, go ahead, finish her.
Let me finish my thought. So how do you know if it's in alignment or not?
Well, you have to know who you want to be.
Well, first you have to know who you want to be and what, how do you want to be living? Who do you want to be? But also too, like, what if you're doing stuff that, do you know if it's in alignment or not? I think that this is where you have to be kind of paying attention to you. You have to be paying attention to, what's inside you.
Mm-hmm.
And,
if you're frustrated by how you're doing something,
mm-hmm.
if you're resenting the thing that you're doing, it's out of alignment.
Yeah. And that's like, that's a very weird, open, like amorphous thing. What does alignment even mean? Alignment with what?
Well, this became a philosophical question. You can interview Anthony if you want to do that.
Well, I really think, but that's, it's the same thing with this, like a law of attraction and manifestation and all that stuff. It feels very like,
I don't think it's the same at all. I think,
but my point is that if you take the woo words away from it and you're looking at like, take aligned action with who you want to become, who do you want to become? And then what are the things that person would do?
Yes.
How is that person who you want to become living, functioning, being, thinking, experiencing life?
This is not you like grabbing a credit card and overcharging it. That's not what we're saying. It is not at all what we're saying. But you do need to think about how that person makes decisions and that person, because we've talked about this before in other podcasts.
Yeah.
The CEO is not getting frustrated if the trash guy is an hour late. The CEO is not getting frustrated because an email didn't go out on time. The CEO is asking, why didn't the email go out on time? The CEO is trying to figure, like, they're not getting frustrated with the small stuff. Yeah, they're really focused on the big picture plan.
Yeah. Yeah. But going like how the person who you want to become, how are they thinking? What are they doing? How are they functioning? How are they operating?
Right.
Compare that to the things that you're doing today. How are you doing that today? Are those two things aligned? Are they the same?
Yes.
Are you on the right path to be like to go down that road? Or are you like Nikole when she bought her second plane ticket? She bought it out of fear, knowing that she was like, I really want to be doing this other thing, but I should do this thing right now, right? And she said that really haunted her, and so she did upgrade. And I'm sure she probably did just put it on her credit card. And we're not endorsing that. We're not saying that that's what you should do. But there was the alignment. She knew this is wrong.
Well, there's also this interesting thing, you guys. If you really, really want something, you figure out how to make money for it. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You figure out how to make money for it. You just do. And you put yourself on the line and you put you bet on yourself is really what she did. She bet on herself. She's like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then she fucking made that money happen because she spent it. And it would be out of an integrity if she didn't make that money happen. That would not be an integrity for her. So it's not like she's someone very fabulous out of New York who shall not be named on this podcast, who's like pretending to be someone who can be really, really awesome, who has all these nice things. She's like, I'm going to spend this money because it's out of integrity for not to be on the first class seat. And then she stayed within integrity and figured a way to make that money happen. And so I, in my beit action item, she said, we take granted for things that are free. And this is really important because if you are thinking, Lesley and Nikole, Brad, I can't afford the first class ticket. Okay, maybe not right now. One of the things I was going to say is there's this woman, I want to figure out what her name is. And Claire Solly, you know her, you did her class. When I was in my first mastermind group that I paid for, on the last day, this woman showed up. And let me tell you guys, woo shit, like triple woo shit came out of her mouth. She was 1000% saying that when she talks really fast, she was like downloading from God. And I'm not going to lie, my little like cult little antennas went up. But she said this thing that I found very impactful, which is why you can learn things from people they don't always agree with. She said, how you talk about your money is very important. If you say things like, I can't afford that right now, that is actually not a good way to say something that you want to have. So for Nikole, when she didn't choose to pay for that first class seat and she's like, I can't afford that, and she's out of fear, the better thing to say to the universe is, I'm not spending money on that right now. I'm not spending money on that right now. I'm not making that money decision in this moment because you are not acting out of scarcity. You're not acting out of fear. It is for those of you who can't, like, let's say you're like, I want to be like Nikole. I can't buy the first class ticket. I don't have room on my credit card for it, even if I could make the money happen. Instead of saying, I can't afford it right now, I'm not spending money on that right now. I'm not spending money on that right now. And that is actually going to be really great. But we take granted for things that are free. I have been homeless, you guys, more times than you actually would guess. And before I could afford coaches, I treated podcasts. I got paid for it. I would stop at stoplights and write notes from the podcast that I was listening to. Like they were my coach. You would have thought they were my coach. I was quoting them like I had a phone call with them. These podcasts are free. Even if they tell you, oh, you can sign up my Patreon. You do not have to sign up Patreon. They're making money on ads. Don't worry. Don't cry for them. You are absolutely allowed to do that. And if you actually treat free stuff like you paid for it, you would use that information and you would actually get the money you need from it. And I love that beit action because I think it's actually a great thing for those people who are like, if you're like, I wish I could afford all these coaches. I wish I could afford you guys. We gave out free advice at the beginning of this podcast. Tons of that. That was a $408 call. You're welcome. She also said, I want to give you this piece of wisdom. You're the only one who can save you. You're it. And she says, there's no one size fits all solution when it comes to coaching.
Yeah. I think making it to a seminar or getting to an event or whatever, we put a lot of stock in that. And I think there's value in things like that. But,
oh,
yeah. For sure, we do that all the time. But at the end of the day, it's still you that has to take action, make the change. You need to understand where you want to be going. Remember the what and the why. That all stems from you. You can be inspired and get strategy from other people, but they're not going to do the work for you.
So there's a book called The Power of Broke. And you could actually don't have to read the whole thing. The very few chapters I read, I got the gist. Basically, people who didn't have money, including myself when I started my business, I did not have money to get the information out there with ads, with like hiring influencers and all that stuff. I had to do like knocking on doors style kind of thing. And Brad will know the music label. What was the music label that like every single songwriter got on because they were gonna like stick it to Spotify and the man? There was a name for this music label. It was like the fucking top Beyonce, Kanye, like
and it failed in like 2 years.
I don't even mean that long. Here's the point was they had so much money and they failed. And
it wasn't a label, it was a streaming platform.
Yeah. And it failed. And the
can't remember.
And there's the Power Broke had many other examples of like times where like having money on backing a project failed the project because they thought they could just throw money at a problem.
Yeah.
You guys, we take granted for things that are free. We take for granted when we don't have money and we have to bootstrap the thing. Like bootstrap your way and then be it till you see it. The two of those things combined, you would be surprised what you could take on in this life. And so I promise you that if you like, don't let the lack of money get in your way, and don't let not knowing the how get in your way, because every single success story you've ever heard on how I built this, I bet you hear how many times I went bankrupt and they still made it. They made it, right? Because they really cared and they acted as if they were going to be successful. And if you get anything out of this podcast with Nikole, is that you can do it. And you actually are able to tell the difference between someone who's legit and someone who's not. And you're able to make your magic happen. And you're allowed to have fits when it doesn't. Just keep acting with integrity. Thank you, Nikole. We can't wait to celebrate your birthday with you. Anything else, Brad? I love this episode.
It's great.
Yeah, she's fabulous. Well, obviously we'll have to have her back, but you should follow her.
Yeah.
And we want to know how you're going to use these tips in your life. What was your favorite takeaways? Tag the Beit Pod. Oh my God, we're going into year 3. This is insane. Let us know. And I'm Lesley Logan.
And I'm Brad Crowell.
Until next time, be it till you see it.
Bye for now.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the epic team at Diseño.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.